Each solution we develop will be safe, ethical, and capable of being used at scale. With Palantir, we created a digital twin of our most complex hospital. The goal was to simplify every variable in moving patients through the hospital and make it seamless. This tool, which is now being used by other healthcare systems, is the first commercially viable AI product co-developed by Cleveland Clinic. Take a look.
Running a hospital is complex. Physicians, nurses, hospitals, outpatient centers, operating rooms. More than 30,000 patient encounters every day. We are trying to orchestrate all of these moving parts, and they all need to go perfectly. Historically, it's done through spreadsheets, Post-its, phone calls, text messages. With Palantir, we were able to pull all of the data into a single place, a virtual command center that will model the entirety of hospital operations. We have 3 modules today.
Hospital 360 has transformed how we're able to place patients in beds. We're able to do it in a quicker, more efficient way. I can see the predicted number of patients coming in for the day by building, and I can see the number of predicted discharges coming out, and I can see the number of patients who are waiting, either in the emergency department or patients having surgery who need beds. It's live in real time. It's learning our data. It's reading the patient's notes and saying that's a potential discharge.
The nurse staffing matrix, you can actually see where you're overstaffed, where you're understaffed. Everybody had a trusted view of the patient census and the nurse allocation. It results in managing nurse assignments efficiently and effectively, and in a way that's more predictable and leads to nurse manager satisfaction. OR utilization, the objective function is how do we maximize the number of patients and procedures that we can do through each one of our operating rooms. We're trying to make a smart system, trying to model the problem properly. That's work in progress.
This is another way we're innovating around patient care. It's all about helping more people.
It's been transformative and just shows you the potential. One could imagine managing from ICUs to step-down units to floors to set the standard for being the best-run hospital in the world. That's the ambition.
All right, let's paint a picture of Cleveland Clinic before Palantir rolled in. Imagine walking into a hospital that's supposed to be one of the best in the world. You'd expect cutting-edge tech, right? Nope. What you got instead was a scene straight out of the 90s. Nurses buried in spreadsheets, juggling numbers like their lives depend on it. And in a way they do. We're talking 30,000 patient encounters every single day, managed manually. It's like trying to count grains of sand on a beach during a hurricane. Insane, right? Picture this. A 65-year-old heart patient arrives at the ER. She needs urgent care, but the staff can't find an available bed. Why? Because the system's a mess. Nurses are flipping between screens, inputting data, praying they don't misclick and send patients to the wrong floor. Meanwhile, conditions worsen as people wait. Before Palantir showed up, staff spent 75% more time just calculating bed capacity. That's time not spent on patient care, time not spent comforting scared families or monitoring vital signs. It's time lost in a black hole of bureaucracy. And don't get me started on patient transfers. It was like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded while riding a unicycle on a tightrope over a pit of alligators. You get the picture. It was a mess. All this chaos wasn't just annoying, it was actively hurting patient care. Longer wait times, stressed staff, the whole 9 yards. When you're dealing with life and death situations, every second counts, and they were losing seconds by the bucket load. This isn't just about efficiency. It's not about making some CEO's PowerPoint presentation look prettier. It's about lives, real, human lives. Every minute wasted on admin is a minute not spent saving someone's mother, father, child, or best friend. So, what does a hospital on the brink of a tech revolution do? They need a game changer. Something that can turn this chaos into order. Something that can give nurses and doctors the tools they need to focus on what really matters, saving lives. All right. So Palantir shows up at Cleveland Clinic with this wild idea. They're like, hey, What if we could create a virtual copy of your entire hospital? Now, you might be thinking, great, another tech company with some fancy PowerPoint slides. But this isn't just a 3D model or a glorified Excel sheet. We're talking about a digital twin that's revolutionizing healthcare management. In 2021, people thought AI in hospitals was just for diagnostics. Now, it's running the whole damn show at Cleveland Clinic. This digital twin is cutting the time staff spend on bed capacity calculations by 75%. That's 3/4 of their time now spent on actual patient care instead of playing number games. What exactly is this digital twin? It's like having a virtual command center that's constantly monitoring every aspect of the hospital. Patient flow, bed availability, staff assignments, you name it, this thing's tracking it. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's predicting. Imagine you're a nurse starting your shift. You log into a system that tells you exactly what's going to happen in the next 12 hours. It's predicting patient discharges, forecasting bed availability, even suggesting optimal staffing levels. It's like having a crystal ball, but one that's powered by hardcore data and AI. Now you might be wondering, how the hell did they pull this off? Good question. It wasn't easy. We're talking about integrating countless systems, each speaking its own language. But Palantir and Cleveland Clinic pulled it off. They created this AI-powered brain that's constantly learning and adapting. It's not just spitting out data, it's understanding patterns, making connections, and providing insights that humans might miss. Remember those 30,000 daily patient encounters we talked about earlier? They're now managed with the precision of a Swiss watch. Every patient, every bed, every nurse's schedule, it's all optimized in real time. This isn't just changing Cleveland Clinic, it's setting a new standard for the entire healthcare industry. Other hospitals are looking at this and going, holy shit, we need to get on board. And they should, because if this technology can make one of the best hospitals in the world even better, imagine what it could do for healthcare across the board. We're just at the beginning. If this is what the digital twin can do now, what's it going to be capable of in 5 years? In 10? Are we looking at a future where hospitals run themselves and doctors and nurses are freed up to focus entirely on patient care? It's not as far-fetched as you might think. We're witnessing a revolution in medical thinking, and it's happening right under our noses. The virtual command center at Cleveland Clinic isn't just a fancy AI system, it's reshaping how doctors approach patient care. Imagine a doctor walking into a room already armed with insights that would have taken hours to gather before. Dr. Rita Pappas called the system's discharge predictions perfect. But it's more than just efficiency. Doctors are developing a sixth sense for hospital operations, spotting patterns they'd never see on their own. It's like they're evolving, becoming superhuman in their ability to process information. Think about the implications. Med schools might need to completely overhaul their curricula. How do you train doctors to work alongside AI that can process vast amounts of data in seconds? It's not just about memorizing symptoms anymore. It's about learning to interpret and apply AI-generated insights. What if this AI mentor could teach doctors to spot ultra-rare diseases as easily as the common cold? Or if nurses could predict patient deterioration hours before any visible symptoms? We're talking about saving lives that would have been lost in the pre-AI era. Now you might be thinking, great, so doctors are going to be replaced by robots, but that's not it at all. The AI is enhancing, not replacing. It's giving healthcare workers superpowers, but they're still making the calls, still providing the human touch. This AI is teaching healthcare workers to optimize every aspect of hospital operations. They're learning to juggle resources, predict patient influxes, and manage staff schedules with superhuman efficiency. The real game changer is how this is rewiring doctors' brains. They're starting to approach problems with the same data-driven, pattern-recognizing mindset as the AI. And if doctors can start thinking like AI, who's to say they can't improve on it? We could be looking at a future where human intuition and AI processing power combine to create a level of medical care that's beyond anything we can imagine right now. The virtual command center is just the beginning. Like we've invented the wheel, and now we're figuring out how to build a Ferrari. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a long way to go. We're just scratching the surface of what's possible when you combine human expertise with AI capabilities. And as we move forward, we need to consider how this will impact every level of healthcare, including nursing staff. How will their roles evolve in this brave new world of AI-assisted medicine? All right, let's talk about the unsung heroes of healthcare, nurses. Now imagine giving them superpowers. That's essentially what Palantir's done at Cleveland Clinic. It's not just about making their lives easier, it's about fundamentally transforming how they work and think. Picture this: nurses drowning in a sea of paperwork, their phones ringing off the hook as they desperately try to fill shifts. It's 3 a.m., and they're still juggling staff schedules like it's some twisted circus act. Nurse managers spent hours on the phone, desperately trying to balance schedules. It was a nightmare, and it was burning people out left and right. Now you might think, sure, AI can crunch numbers, but can it really understand the nuances of nurse scheduling? It's not just about filling slots. It's about skills, personalities, patient needs, all that human stuff that computers usually suck at. Palantir's AI doesn't just look at current needs, it predicts future demands. It's like having a time machine for staffing. Nurse managers can now see staffing needs weeks in advance. No more last-minute scrambles or unexpected shortages. It's taking the chaos out of healthcare, and nurses are loving it. This system is actually improving nurse satisfaction. How? By making their lives less insane. They're not constantly being jerked around by last-minute schedule changes. They can plan their lives. They can focus on what they actually signed up for, taking care of patients. There's been a 20% increase in time efficiency for assigning beds after transfer requests. That's huge. Think about it. That's not just numbers on a spreadsheet. That's real people getting the care they need faster. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, but what about the human touch? Are we turning nurses into robots? Relax. The AI isn't replacing judgment. It's enhancing it. It's like giving nurses a superpower. They still make the calls, but now they're doing it with way more information. This isn't just making scheduling easier. It's fundamentally changing the nurse's role. They're not stuck doing admin work. They're not constantly putting out fires. They're able to focus on what they do best: patient care. And that's what it's all about, right? We're just scratching the surface. If this is what AI can do for scheduling, what else can it do? Are we looking at a future where nurses can predict patient needs before they even happen, where they can spot potential complications hours or even days in advance? The result of all this? Happier nurses, better patient care, and a hospital that runs like a well-oiled machine. But we're not done yet. Not even close. This is just the beginning of how AI is going to transform healthcare. And let me tell you, it's going to be one hell of a ride. This Palantir Cleveland Clinic collab is reshaping healthcare worldwide. Every hospital adopting this tech taps into a constantly learning, improving system. It's healthcare evolution at warp speed. But we can't ignore potential privacy concerns or over-reliance on AI. In 5 years, we might see hospital errors vanish and predictive care become the norm. This isn't just cool tech. It's about saving lives. Every minute saved could be someone's loved one. Next time you're in a hospital, that smooth operation might be AI-powered.